Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. With the Nike VaporFly Next coming out this week, I thought it would be a good idea to give these Nike VaporFly Next a proper review, since my last video was more of a comparison between these and the Nike VaporFly 4% Flyknits. So I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to give these a review, since I've ran probably 300 to 350 miles in these. They're dusted, and these are my newer pair that I only really save for racing, so they have maybe 50 miles total in them. But I'm going to do the same format as I did with the Pegasus 37, where I do the B-roll footage and kind of break down some tech specs, and then after that we'll go into my actual thoughts and opinions on the shoe. So with that being said, let's roll the B-roll. Okay, so these weigh 7.1 ounces in a men's size 10.5, which means they probably weigh a little bit heavier for my size 11s, but overall they're extremely lightweight for a shoe that uses this much material. Speaking of material, these use ZoomX in the midsole of the shoe, which basically uses two giant pieces of ZoomX foam to sandwich a carbon plate and generate that signature responsive bouncy feel of the shoe. They use vapor weave on the upper of the shoe here to create a more water resistant and lightweight feeling than the previous Flyknit model. They also use, again, this accentuated back heel, which I'm a huge fan of because it allows for a natural progression through your stride. And they use a diagonal offset lacing system with that thin tongue that is also on the Pegasus Turbo 2, and thin lightweight laces in combination with this ankle cuff for a very secure lightweight ride at higher speeds. But overall, I would say this shoe is definitely designed for higher speeds. It's got this flared forefoot sticky traction pad, and then these buffed out traction pads on the heel, which are designed to add more cushion and durability in the contact points of the shoe. But overall, I think an extremely well-designed racing shoe by Nike here.
This is me running with my dog uphill, so don't judge me, but I just wanted to show you guys what these shoes look like through my stride.
Well, now that we looked at that, let's get into my actual thoughts and review of the shoes. So moving forward, I'm going to give shoes a rating based on four things: comfort, value, responsiveness, and energy return. So with that being said, let's start with comfort. I think this shoe nails it as far as the comfort scale goes. This giant heel just allows for probably the most natural stride I've ever felt in a pair of running shoes. And not only that, but it has that carbon plate that's literally sandwiched in between the ZoomX foam. And this has 15% more ZoomX foam than the last version, which I thought felt extremely good. So this just feels absolutely amazing. The traction on the bottom is also super nice, and they added these heel strips. You can't really see it here because they're the same color as the bottom, but on this one, I guess they're the same color too, but you can kind of see it. So they made these to basically give them more durability over time. I don't know if you guys remember the comparison I had with these and the VaporFly 4% Flyknits, but one of my biggest problems with those was that they were breaking down so easily right here. These probably have close to 300 miles in them, and you can see, hopefully, that the tread again literally melts together, but that's what happens when you're running fast and you're running a lot, so it's kind of to be expected. And in terms of the upper part for the comfort scale, I would say it's very comfortable. I'm a huge fan of the vapor weave material that they made for this shoe. It's really thin, so much so that you can pretty much see your foot when it's in the shoe, but it's water repellent and it does not hold water like any sort of VaporFly material. So living up in the Pacific Northwest, these shoes have been awesome for me when I've been racing in the winter time and spring months where it's pretty wet. But other than that, some of the things I like about the comfort of the shoe, they have this heel, it's kind of like a heel pad in here. I've also read that some people don't like this. I do like this. I think it feels extremely comfortable and keeps your foot nice and secure, especially when you're going fast, which is something you want. And then the tongue, I've said it before, I like the tongue. The laces are offset, you can kind of see that, so it makes it a more secure fit without putting your foot to sleep, which I think is interesting because you see how the laces are like that instead of being dead center. They've done that on a lot of their shoes now, and I think it's smart because it just makes the anchor point a little bit differently in the way the tension gets pulled across the top of your foot. But I think as far as comfort goes, between a 0 and 10 rating, I would probably rate these a 9.7. pretty close to perfect in terms of comfort. Value is probably the next thing we're going to tackle. They're $250, but if you're spending them with the intent of getting faster, or you have a race on your calendar and you really want to shave a few seconds off of that PR time or something, I would say that they're probably worth it. I've gotten both of these on sale from various sources, but I would say if you can get them for even like $200, then they would definitely be worth it. I know $250 scares some people away, but if breaking your time matters that much to you, then I would say you should just do it, because once I bit the bullet and got these shoes, they really transformed my game. And I was running in the VaporFly 4% and I thought those were fast. These are way faster than those, so it's got me even more excited for the AlphaFly, which is $275. But in terms of value out of what you're getting for $250, honestly, I can't give it a very high rating, because I would like the durability to be a little bit longer on these. But I mean, that's a very minor knock. You're getting a racing shoe. You have to know it's not going to last as long. So I would probably give these an 8 on the value scale if I was rating them for that. Energy return, I would probably say 9.7 again. With the way this shoe is designed, it's got it sits at a nice stance. It's a 35 millimeter stack height in the back, which is the measure of how much foam there is between your heel and the ground. And that's pretty much max that you can get for competition level. So it's maxed out in terms of cushion in the back, and then the carbon plate in the center, and the way the shoe is designed gives you pretty much maximum energy return and efficiency through your stride. I've never felt more natural. I have a very long stride, and I've never felt more natural through every single contact point in my stride than with these shoes. These shoes give me great energy return. I feel like I can explode even 10 miles into a race. I feel just as fast as I did when I started the race. So for energy return, again, I would say these probably get a 9.7. And in terms of weight, I would say they're probably, again, a high 9, because they're very light. They're half an ounce lighter than the previous version. And the only way you could make them lighter, I would say, is if you took more cushion out of the heel, and I think that would be a detriment to the way this shoe is made. So with all of that into consideration, I would probably give these a 9 on the weight scale. I know the AlphaFly is actually heavier than this shoe, and that's probably because it has the airbags in the front, and it's a little bit different. It's got Atom Knit on the top instead of this Vaporweave material. But overall, if I was accumulating all of those ratings into some sort of average, I'm not keeping track of what I just gave those. I honestly don't even remember, but I would probably give this shoe a 9.7 overall. For me, I like to run fast. I'll post my times somewhere around here so you guys can see what fast for me is and what the shoe has done for me. I'm just a huge fan of it. It currently holds, except for my 5Ks, all my longer distance PRs. And I'm running 20 miles this weekend with one of my friends, so I'll definitely be taking these on that run, because there's not any races right now. So I'm just using these to mess around with until I get the AlphaFlies. But if you're looking to race, or you're serious about getting faster and you're measuring your times and you're thinking about getting a faster shoe and you have some money that you can spend on it, I would say go for this. If this shoe is scaring you away because it's so expensive, the Zoom Fly is still a great shoe. It's got a carbon plate in it. Nike makes that. I've heard the Hoka Carbon X is good, but honestly, I would watch my other, I'll link it in the description, but I just made a video about the best budget racing shoes you can get, or Speedwork shoes, so go check that video out. I think that shoe is really slept on, and it can hang with a lot of the other bigger shoes. But this shoe is just probably my favorite shoe that Nike's ever made, so I'm gonna stick with a 9.7, 9.9 rating. I'm really curious to see how I'll respond to the AlphaFly. I've watched a bunch of videos and read articles on it, but you never know until you put the shoes on for yourself. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll be sure to update you guys as soon as I try those. But just going over everything again, I'm a huge fan of the way the shoe is built. The carbon plate, with a combination of the Zoom X, the way that it's stanced, the weight, the vapor weave upper, the offset lacing system, the separate tongue, it's pretty much checks all my boxes. The nice sticky rubber on here for good traction, the added heel pads for more durability, the accentuated heel. It's just a solid shoe. It really does everything I need it to when it comes to having a speedwork shoe and a shoe that can keep me fast at longer distances. I would say this shoe pretty much is designed for anything between a 10K and up. I guess you could use it on a 5K. I like more of a racing flat for 5Ks, but they're really comfortable. And even if you want to even if you're slower and you want to see what it's like to run faster, or you're interested in how you could get faster and you want something to put on and, you know, measure those times against with, I would say try these out. If you can afford them, they're just an awesome shoe and you'd be amazed at what they can help you do. At least for me and for some of the other people I know that have ran in these, they made a huge difference, and I think that Nike just knocked it out of the park with these, and I cannot wait to try the VaporFlies. So I hope you guys found that interesting. I just really like these shoes and wanted to talk about it. So until then, I will see you guys next time.